The following feature presentation is part of the All for Sci-Fi Podcast Network. You better believe it.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Yes, he's sorry.
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed.
No. I
am your father.
No, he's not.
I'll be back.
No, you won't.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
No, swear on this show.
It's a trap.
It's a trap. Hey, Dante's here.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Dante.
The needs of the many outweigh
The needs of the few.
for the one.
Do or do not. There is no try.
to infinity and beyond.
Live long and prosper.
Get away from her, you bitch! Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
Goodbye.
Hello! My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Stop saying that!
I see dead people.
So what?
I'm rude.
You said that.
Why so serious?
I volunteer as tribute.
What I do is not up to you.
Chewie. We're home.
I'm one with the Force. The Force is with me. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me. I'm one with the Force, and the Force is with me.
Buddy, to the All for Sci-Fi Weekly Webcast. I'm your host, Eric Walker, and beside me is...
Captain Rickster, Trickster, or just I'll be late for anything.
Oh, that's true. Whenever there's a meal, he's available.
That's right.
We have an exciting show today. I'm happy that I'm feeling better. Thank you for all your prayers. The prayers work. I'm getting better day by day. I'm getting stronger. And hey, I'm even wearing my Star Wars shirt here. So I'm excited.
So am I.
Yeah. So on today's show, we're going to talk about Ahsoka Episode 7, Dreams and Madness. And we're also going to do the Invasion Episode 6, which is called Pressure Points. So we got a lot to talk about. We are also having an unboxing. We haven't had an unboxing in a while, right, guys?
That is definitely true.
Captain Rickster, have you heard anything this week in the news, sci-fi related, that you can think about?
Yeah, Creator, which is playing right now.
The Creator is out, and I'm not well enough to go and sit in a movie theater for 2 or 3 hours. Captain Rickster is going to go tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to give a report about it next week. We would like to try to do these right on time. So sorry about that. Hey, thank you, Dante. And I see you're having dinner tonight alone. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. If I was there, I'd come over and say hi and we'd hang out.
No kidding.
Let's see if we could talk better this weekend from getting me. There you go.
Yeah.
And Stan Solo's here.
Hey, Stan.
Welcome, Stan Solo Show. Thinking about going on Monday. Well, yeah, Captain Rickster's going tomorrow, which is great. And slipping up a little here on the things. Yeah, so you're going on Monday. So normally we try to go and have it the first weekend it's out. But I don't know if you know this, Stan Solo, but I was hospitalized and I was in a hospital for 6 days. I've been recovering at home for 17 days. It was a very rare bacterial infection that also came from my liver, called liver abscess. And I felt something weird and it might have been a message from God because I was getting fevers with no other symptoms for 2 days. So I went in right away, and they took a blood culture, and 2 days later, it was growing this bacterial infection called Klebsiella, and it was in my blood, and I guess my liver was pushing it in there, and it was the size of a golf ball. So I'm just telling you guys, when your body says something, or you feel something, or you sense something, whatever you believe in, I believe this came from God. You could believe it came from whatever you believe. No judgment here, free judgment zone. But if I went in a couple days later or a week later, you would not be seeing me today. I would have died.
That's definitely true.
Because it's that serious. But the recovery is fast because they got it fast and they drained the liver abscess, which is kind of like a pimple, and they got it out of my bloodstream with massive antibiotics. And I'm still on the antibiotics. I have a PICC line in my chest. They couldn't put it into my arms because ironically, a guy my size, my veins are too small and they roll, so they couldn't took it. My arms couldn't take it, so it's right here in my chest. That goes right to my jugular, and I am going to be on those meds for a full month, which I'm happy to report ends on October 9th. All right, I don't want to turn this into me being sick because I feel so good because I've spent 17 days at home and 6 days in the hospital, so that's in the past. But I'm glad I'm here. God has other plans for me. But also on today's show, we're going to have an unboxing. So here we go. It is from Star Wars The Black Series, Star Wars The Book of Boba Fett. It is Luke Skywalker with Grogu. And we're going to unbox this on today's show. So stay tuned for when we do this, okay? Probably between Invasion and before we do the Ahsoka review.
Right.
Yeah. And, well, Well, fortunately, the doctor that when I went into the urgent care, I had nothing in my bloodstream yet, but I was having fevers because it was still in my liver. And that doctor believed me, and he took a blood culture. And a blood culture will, if it is whatever virus you might have that they're not seeing, it will grow. And it grew so much in 2 days. They said rush to the emergency room. You're getting admitted on Sunday, and that was Friday. So it all happened fast, which is good. I hope your best friend is okay. And it just happens. I don't know. They don't know why it happens. This type of infection comes from third world countries like Africa, Vietnam. And I've traveled to Vietnam, but I haven't done it in 15 years. So they think it came from my sleeve surgery that I had many years ago, or they're going to check my colon just to make sure, but I don't think anything's wrong with that. So let's move on. What, you don't have anything other sci-fi stuff to talk about?
I know Loki.
Oh, Loki season 2 is about ready to premiere.
Coming out October 5th.
Is it 5th or 3rd?
No, the 5th, because they have
well, they're
something comes out in November, and Marvels I think comes out in November, and it would end that day,
right?
And the movie starts the same day, so they moved it up one day,
right?
So it wouldn't conflict with the movie and the show itself.
Oh, and also they're going to premiere it like they're doing with Ahsoka.
Yes.
In the evening. I think that's a good idea. I like that. Instead of making people stay up until 12 o'clock at night to see something that comes out to 12 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
True.
Well, I'm glad to hear, Stan, that you said your friend is fine now. It is scary, for sure. Yeah, there's other types of infections like that, like cellulitis, that does come from cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a friend that had that, and he battled it for quite a few years, and unfortunately, he passed away at a young age because of it. So, nice guy. So, anyway, so let's get into this. What do you want to do first? You want to do Invasion?
Do Invasion first.
Okay, let's talk about Invasion. Episode 6, Pressure Points.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Apple Plus, so that's where you stream it. In different countries, it might be on a different service. I'm actually liking this season better, season 2 of Invasion.
Right.
I think they're getting more into the meat of the show. Let's give the official rating. The official All for Sci-Fi rating for episode 6, Pressure Points, is 4.75. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
I'll agree with you on this one.
Okay, we agree, but I'm not going to get violent because I need to turn a new life because I'm here with you guys, right? Okay. What was your favorite part in this episode?
I liked it when she was both minds were together, and they were. She saw the little, well, I guess her lover, I guess at one time, that girl.
As a little girl,
Eh,
or you like the beach? I think this one had the
This
beach
this had
scene,
the beach scene, and this is when
right?
I liked about the beach scene when she was flying that kite.
And she kept saying, "This is not real," and she was doing
Right.
the Morse code
Uh-huh.
to let them know to turn the magnet on, so it
Yep.
stopped the alien from doing this illusion.
Mhm.
Yeah, this show is just extremely well written, intelligent, music's great. Oh, hey, what show that keeps playing Ground Control to Major Tom? Come on, guys.
Yeah, really.
And other stuff like that. But the music's great, the editing's great. Even when they cut to the children that were trying to find their friend, what's his name?
Um,
I forgot his name.
I forgot his name now. Jeez,
I
Brian,
was
got
going
me
to
on
say
this.
it started with a J, but
No.
anyway, they're trying to
Yeah.
find their friend because their friend stopped the alien attack back in the beginning because he could communicate with the aliens and he had some special powers that nobody knew he had. And then he went into a deep coma, and then they transferred him to France, and they were going for, and they were in England, so they were going to try to, amidst all this, they tried to, they closed the tunnel that cars go under, but they still went underneath the tunnel, and they're trying to get to France to find him
Right.
and make sure he's well. Well, in this episode, they find him,
They do.
and he's out of his coma, which is
Yep.
great. Of course, these are all spoilers. If you haven't seen it, we talk about because we're reviewing something. The old days when you watch reviewers review stuff like Roger and Ebert and everybody else, they talked about this. They talked about the movie,
Yes, they did.
so you knew about it.
Mhm.
Now everybody is so, I don't want no spoilers because I'm a big baby.
That's right.
But when you saw reviews in Hollywood Reporter or the LA Times or whatever major newspaper, or you watch the people on the review shows like I just mentioned, they talked about the show and they
Yes,
didn't
they
say
do.
warning spoilers.
Yeah,
So
even channel
I'll say
11 the same
spoilers
thing.
because we live in this culture, but
That's right.
you guys got my opinion on that. I'm not trying to destroy it. I'm trying to talk about it and what I like about it. So I like the storyline. I like the music. I like the kids acting. I like it's just a really generally good show. After that, they end up back with this other little militia group that's somewhere in not California, but somewhere
No.
Midwest.
Midwest.
And they're trying to the
Get to this
U.S.
fort.
government stole her daughter because her daughter might have special powers too,
Right.
and they're trying to rescue that. And we come to find out that her son
It has the
has
special
special
powers.
powers, and he has a shard that makes him control the aliens. And he's like,
Mhm.
he made the alien sit down and not attack this other kid and
And
his
his
mom.
mother. Yeah.
And and then it went back to the lady who's trying to communicate with that main alien
Mhm.
in that scene that Rick talked about. And the aliens just, I'm glad she had that little interview with the doctor, the other person watching her
Right,
over,
yeah.
because she said this alien's in your head. She's talking about this girl and yada yada yada. They're gonna always try to take advantage of you, and that made a point so that's how she knew it wasn't real. It was an illusion it was creating,
Right.
and she did that. Great episode. Great episode. Can't say enough about it. My favorite scene was when the kid controlled the alien and made him bow down.
Yeah.
Rick's favorite scene is the illusion beach scene.
Mhm. But you also got to remember too, at the end of the show,
Right.
she was talking about communication.
Right.
And
she discovered how to communicate with
them, and because it's all in her head now, and so now she's going to study the communications of what they're trying to say.
Right. That was really, really an important part.
Yes.
So I think Invasion is it 10 episodes or?
Yeah, I believe it's 10 episodes. We got 3 more left to go.
So excited to keep reviewing it. You guys at Invasion and Apple Plus, you're doing a great job.
Mhm.
We love the show. Keep it up. Keep the show. Hopefully to get a 3rd season. Okay, let's move on to the Star Wars Book of Boba Fett opening. And at All for Sci-Fi, we review these just like we do the shows and movies, 0 to 5 stars. Let's open up this bad boy. Whoa, interesting.
Whoa.
Pieces.
Coming out in pieces.
Okay. I think this is probably Luke over here wrapped up. Give me a second. I have to tear it. I didn't realize this box. It was in pieces in a box. I unloosened the box, so it was easy to open. But Stan is saying for Invasion. I watched part 1, but we'll have to wait until I have more time to watch the rest. My wife's not the first season. I wasn't as good as this second season. That's for sure. We didn't give it super high ratings the first season as well.
No.
In fact, at one point, I think I didn't even finish watching the first season, to be honest with you.
I think you didn't.
And we stopped reviewing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very different show now. So I just skipped to the second season because they explain enough about what's going on. Stan, you don't need to watch the first season. It could stand alone by itself. So here is older Luke, I guess, from the Book of Boba Fett. And of course, he's going to be training Grogu. That's what he looked like when he was training Grogu. Of course, this is black because remember he lost his hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty accurate. That's why this is a black hand. Articulation is great. Legs are not too stiff. They're pretty good. Nice ball joints on the feet. And it's our older Luke, not look. And let's see if this other piece has little Grogu who he's training in it. Oh no, can you? No, I think I might just go get it out. It's a bunch of pieces in a stand for Grogu.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is cool. I actually really like this one. Oh, by the way, inside of it is Luke Skywalker's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it was green at that time.
The green came later.
This was pretty nicely priced for having all these accessories. I'm kind of impressed, Hasbro. It wasn't that, usually they charge more money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the practical price is. Okay, so you have this little stand, and on the stand, you're going to put one of these, small one or big one. I don't know what this is.
I think that goes with it.
You think it's this one?
No, I think it's this one here.
That goes with this one?
Goes on top of that, and it goes into there.
Like this goes in, somehow squeezes in there?
Yeah.
Like this little stand. I think you're right. I think I snapped it in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little stand. And I think I don't know. I think this is just if you want Grogu to sit on the ground, or if you want him to be up in the air because he's flipping. Remember when Luke was making him do weird things, flip and fly and whatever. He's got a little on his foot here. He's got a little thing here. Let's see if it actually will hold the weight of both. No, I don't think it'll hold the weight of this, because this is when Luke is carrying him.
Right.
It has when Luke is carrying him, and it goes on his back. This is an accessory for Luke's back when Luke is carrying him.
Mm-hmm.
If Grogu is by himself jumping, just doesn't seem to want to stay. There it is. He stayed a little bit. This is when Grogu's jumping. Flipping. He's on this. And
got one more package to open up.
There you go. And then this right here for the stand. Wow. I don't know what this is yet.
We'll figure it out in a minute.
No, was this one open? It was not. It is Grogu's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Grogu's snacks. Like a frog. It is some sort of snack for Grogu. And, Grogu loves frogs, so it's a little frog.
Frog eggs and frog.
He loves these little frogs. And this is and from the past, it also comes with the training, a little training ball. This is that thing that moves around and shoots.
Mm-hmm.
I have to tell you guys, this is the most impressed I've ever been when I did a Black Series 6-inch opening.
Yeah. It's got a lot of
So
great parts.
let's go ahead and give the review. That's funny, guys. The baby hand dance. And yeah, that's right. Tiny baby hand dance. I'm the most impressed. As you know, with our rating system is 0 to 5 stars. This gets 5 stars. I'm not going to keep going on about it. It definitely deserves it. What do you give it, Captain Rickster?
I'm gonna give it the same.
Yeah.
That's why you pull that. All that
There's
stuff
just
apart,
so many accessories on a Black Series 6-inch. I'm just blown away. I don't know if that's best car. What's in there? It opens and you can put stuff in it. Okay. Just so much. Okay, let's move forward. You gave it 5 stars too?
Yeah, I give 5 stars also.
So the Black Series 6-inch Luke with Grogu from the Book of Boba Fett gets 5 stars. All right, let's move forward. We're going to talk about the thing that's just taken over Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni is proving he is definitely George Lucas's Padawan, and he should have been given given this a long time ago. We saw him direct some of, The Mandalorian and stuff like that, but this is his show. He is the creator. He is writing it. Jon Favreau is producing it, it's just marvelous. He's directed 2 episodes. He directed the pilot, the first episode, and episode 5. The last 2 episodes were directed by women. It's just this episode of Ahsoka is called episode 7 is called Dreams and Madness. And let's give the official rating, All for Sci-Fi rating. The official All for Sci-Fi rating of episode 7, Dreams and Madness, is 4.85 stars. What do you give it?
I'm gonna give it 4.90.
I almost gave this 5 stars, but I'm trying to be conservative more. Actually, episode 5 got 5 stars. So there's already gotten 1, maybe another. I don't know if we did 2, but 1 for sure got 5 stars, and are all real close. So it's very highly rated from us.
Yeah, and next week it's going to be the last episode. It's going to be the finale.
Next week's the last episode. But let's talk about things here. Like, here's a cast photo. And this cast photo is with one of the directors of one of the episodes. It shows Sabine and the new lady, and it shows the late Ray Stevenson. And when I look at this, I have sadness because he's created such a great character in Baylan Skoll that people want to see more of him. So I don't know if they had other footage that they shot that they cut out and they could bring back in season 2. That would be great. Rounding the internet is this, and it shows the Star Wars Rebels cartoon versions of Ezra and also Thrawn. And I think they did a pretty good job in casting. People want to complain and say, "Oh, Thrawn looks fat." Yeah, come on, guys, stop it.
Yeah,
cartoons don't look like human beings. Okay,
that's definitely true.
So stop it. And here is something that's been around in the internet, and it's about Claudia Black, who was on Stargate SG-1, all the Stargates, Farscape, you name it. She's done a lot of voiceovers, but she is one of the Night Sisters, which I think is great. Also making the internet a lot is just how great the show is. Like this one from Screen Rant, where they say Ahsoka is telling a better Star Wars sequel story than the movies. And they're referring to the sequel movies that were produced by the first one directed by J.J. Abrams, the second one by Rian Johnson. Then they had to bring J.J. back again. And I like The Force Awakens. So I'm not going to say 100% agree with them, but this is better storytelling for sure.
Yes.
That I say. So that we're making the rounds of what's been happening on the internet. Stan Solo says he likes this last episode. It's one of his favorite of the series. It's been 10 years. I'm a lot bigger than I was 10 years ago. Okay, I don't know what that means.
Weight wise.
We all are, Stan. Don't worry.
Yes.
As we age, if that's what you meant. Well, let's jump into Ahsoka episode 7, Dreams and Madness, and of course we're going to review it. So if you haven't seen it, pause it or
go watch it while we're talking
or go
about
watch it. I mean, we're reviewing stuff, guys, the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this episode picks up with Ahsoka. She's in the space wells. She's traveling. He tells them that they're almost there. There's another scene with Thrawn and the Night Sisters, and they already know she's traveling here because, of course, they're very in tune to the Force. And at one time, they said that in the last episode, I think. But she's very in tune. The Night Sisters used to use the space wells to travel from Dathomir, to Tritus or whatever the name of that planet is, and that's their ancient home world. But they're very, very ancient one. But Dathomir is where they're kind of there, and they consider themselves Dathomiri, and that's where Ray, the guy that plays Darth Maul came from, and other characters and Knight brothers and all that other stuff. Yeah, and that's why Thrawn's bigger, because he got older, and he is older,
He
right?
is older, yes.
So I mean, come on, guys. So during this episode, when they arrive at the planet, there's these mines being discharged, Imperial mines that were set up to try to damage the wells. It's not really damaging the wells, but Ahsoka's concerned, so she gets out of there and gets away from the minefield. And as she's doing it, the robot says, "At least the space wells are providing cover." And then right when he says that, they all hyperspace jump out of there. And Ahsoka, do you have to say that? Now they're gone. So she runs them into old debris field, the debris field is really old space wells. And then we see what's going on with Ezra a little bit, and Sabine, and they're traveling, and then they stop because Baylan Skoll and his apprentice is up there. Then it goes back to Ahsoka. Ahsoka is trying to figure out how to, the robot says something, how we're going to find her, and she says, "I have another way." And she says, and the robot knows what she's talking about, and he says, Are your bonds good enough to connect to each other?" So she tries it and calls out to Ahsoka with the Force. No, not Sabine with the Force. Ahsoka calls out to her, and Sabine can hear her, and she says, "Ahsoka." So they connect, and she finds out where they're at. Now, this is the first Force-sensitive ability that she's shown, which proves that she does have Force abilities, even though in every episode she kept being upset that she didn't have any. This proves she does have it. If she fine tunes herself. Okay, the episode goes on. Thrawn wants to try to take them out. He sees Bolt, and then before that, I'm sorry, Baylan and them and those other stupid
creatures.
They're not creatures, bad guys or whatever, mercenaries that try to rob and steal. He's become friends with them. He sends them down with the girl to fight them. They have quite a bit of a battle. Sabine tries to give her Ezra his lightsaber back. He goes, "No, I don't want it. I've been training. I could do that without a lightsaber." Cocky boy. And he says, "Besides, I gave that to you. It's yours now." So they start fighting. He does show he has trained because he's able to use the Force a lot more. But the apprentice of Baylan Skoll knocks him out actually with the dark side of the Force. So there goes your ego, boy. And they're still fighting, and Ahsoka, because she found the location, she travels there, and she sees what's happening. So she does the same thing she did in an early episode where she jumps off, and the robot takes off with to draw the ship, get the fighters away. And she gets there just in time because they need a little bit of help. And at that time, before in between this, Thrawn it went back to Thrawn, and he sent his troopers there. So his troopers are there in our 2 regiments. So they're fighting. They got rid of those other guys, but they're still fighting the troopers. And Ahsoka shows up just in the right time so she could help them because it's just too overwhelming. And they end up um, really just kicking butt, eliminated a lot of them. And Thrawn is seeing this, so he calls him back and he said, because he doesn't want too many losses. And in his own twisted mind, he says, "These are acceptable losses. I think we still won," or whatever. Not.
No.
So they end up right in front of that apprentice. And rather than fight her, Ahsoka says, "Surrender your weapon." And then she says, "I could help you." But she runs away. So
Yeah.
nobody knows where Balin Skull is. Thrawn said he was missing, and he was. After Ahsoka had a little fight with him, he disappeared. And we don't know what happens. And right at the end, they're talking to the Na'ti and saying, yes, they're all friends. And Ezra Bridger says, I have a sense, I have a feeling, that, and I sense it, that I'm going to be able to go home. And then it pans up to the ship.
And that was
Beautiful episode, guys.
Yes, it was.
Dave Filoni, you're on the money. I'm very proud of you. George is very proud of you. I'm sure everybody's proud of you. You don't need to hear that, really, but you're a brilliant filmmaker. I'm glad to see what you're doing. Jon Favreau is awesome as well. Kathleen Kennedy, thank you for greenlighting this. Forget about the naysayers if people complain because they're whiners. Kathleen Kennedy, you've done a brilliant job running Lucasfilm. And yeah, and that's true, Stan. I want to find out what Balin's end game is too. Is he up to something? Is there something on the planet that knows he is there? And I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Before we close the show, I wanted to show you a rumor that was going around the internet. And sorry I keep clicking on that, guys. I've got to get back together. But I saw a picture of this. And if this is true, this is the most, if this is real and not fan-made, I think it's fan-made. But if it's real, and that is Keanu Reeves, and he is in the Arcolite, holy moly. But as of right now, it's never been confirmed, so it's now a rumor. It might be fan-made. All right, guys, we never end a show without saying, please go out and do an act of kindness because it makes the world a better place. Remember, the Force is with us always. It's this hand that does it better. Live long and prosper, as the Trekkie says. And we got some Trek stuff coming up. I think Lower Decks is out next month. And so we got a bunch of stuff we're going to do on that. But it looks like it's fan-made, too. It's too good to be good. That's just what we're dreaming about. And you know what? When Ahsoka they were making fan-made stuff for her, and she expressed interest, she got the part. So if Keanu Reeves is watching this, he might, and they might ask him, he might say, yeah, everybody's calling for it. Let's do it. Let's do this. So thank you very much. I'm Eric Walker.
I'm Captain Richter. So have a great weekend. See you guys next week. We'll have some more stuff on updates. So what we're going to be watching. So have a great time.
Thank you, Rick. Yeah, next week's show is going to be exciting. It's got more invasion. It's got Ahsoka, and Rick will at least have a review of The Creator for us. Everybody stay safe. Going through this experience, what I learned, I'm tired. You're right. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm tired, but I don't want to not do our shows. But I am feeling way better than I did before. So that's the good thing. If you watch the beginning, I wasn't as tired. So it's just I get tired as I keep talking. But I'll see you guys next week. I'll be better then. It's a whole week later. Ahsoka, Invasion, The Creator. And what I wanted to say before I left this show was this thing's taught me to spread love more and tell people, everybody I know, you already do it anyway, but say I love you more to your kids. If they're teenagers, hug them one more time. Spread love. Bye for now.